Hey, Internet friends. This week we're going to be doing the adult versions of your childhood favorites. That's right, the grown up version of beer battered chicken tenders and mac and cheese. It's going to be delicious, cheesy, amazingness on top of deep fried gloriousness. So let's get started. Screenshot this shot and let's get started. So grab your boneless chicken breasts and start cutting them up into chicken tenders. This is super easy to do. You literally just have to cut pieces off them if they're boneless. Just make them the size that you want. This is America, and we're doing adult chicken tenders, so I'm going with big ass meaty pieces, but you can cut them up into nuggets if you like. Next, put some eggs into a mixing bowl. Grab your favorite whisk and start mixing. Make sure you mix everything together. Add your beer. You want to do about 2/3 of a beer. You don't need to add that much. If you want to add a little bit less, that's totally fine. And then you want to add your sriracha because we want to give these chicken tenders a kick because this is the adult chicken tenders. Now we're going to do our dry ingredients, which is going to start with 2 very large cups of flour. And then we're going to go ahead and add all the other 11 herbs and spices that we have, which include things like garlic, white pepper, the Italian seasonings, various Italian seasonings being like parsley, basil, oregano, paprika, smoked paprika, cumin, all sorts of stuff. The idea is you want to get as much flavor inside of this as you can. So you can add as much of whatever you want. It's up to your taste. I like all these seasonings in my chicken. You can add or subtract whatever you like, whatever you don't like. Oh yeah, cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is super important to me, but it might not be to you guys, and that's okay. Then grab your second favorite whisk and make sure all these people are friends for this party. All these seasonings gotta be spicy together. They gotta season seasons. It's amazing. Make sure that they're all friends. Don't forget to add your baking powder. I almost forgot, but make sure you don't forget to add your baking powder and then stir it all together. So we did this before for the Super Bowl episode. You want to do a dry hand, wet hand method instead of what I'm doing, and you want to double bake your batter. Double baked is basically you want to do one side in flour, then in the wet, then back in the flour, then back in the wet. Just like that. They'll turn out super extra crispy and delicious. Once all your chicken is battered, you want to go ahead and put them in the basket. You don't want to overcrowd your basket because that'll lead to the chicken sticking, so you want to do about 3 to 4 pieces at a time. Once your oil has reached about 375 degrees, you want to gingerly drop your chicken in. If you guys don't have a deep fryer, which is totally reasonable because you're normal people, you could use a pan or a pot, fill it with oil, and then use a thermometer to make sure it's up to 375. After about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how well done you like your chicken, these glorious golden brown bastards should be done. And if they stick to the pan, just go ahead and tap them out like that. Then add more and keep on going until they're all good. Now look at these golden, glorious bastards. You want to take them into a low oven of about 200 degrees and let them just hang out there while we do the mac and cheese. That way they stay warm and fresh and crispy and they don't get soggy and weird. And now let's move on to the mac and cheese. First step you want to do is get your boiling water ready for your noodles. The first step. This is going to take forever. Boil your water first. Then while your water's boiling, make sure you start cutting up your thick cut all-American bacon. Because, I know you're saying to yourself right now, this is mac and cheese. Why are you putting bacon in it? It's like, because the last time I checked, this is America, god damn it. And if I want bacon in my mac and cheese, I'm going to put bacon. Not just any bacon, thick cut all-American bacon. Now you want to make sure your camera's rolling when you put some butter and the heavy cream inside of a pot. And then you want to add a couple splashes of beer. You could add more or add less if you like, but then you want to add your minced garlic and your cumin. And you want to make sure that you keep stirring and keep an eye on this because boiling heavy cream, it'll boil over very quickly and very rapidly and it'll get very weird. So you want to make sure that you constantly stir and keep an eye on this while you're doing it. Then once you get the consistency right, you want to add some Dijon mustard, a little bit of cumin and your parsley. And if you want to feel dangerous, a little bit of cayenne pepper. And now we're going to add the cheese. My ratio is about 4 cups of super sharp cheddar cheese, and then 2 cups of Parmesan and 1 cup of mozzarella. And you want to keep stirring and adding, stirring and adding. You don't want to add too much cheese at once because it'll become like fuzzy and chunky. Small increments is key here. You want to do like little bits of handfuls at a time. Make sure that melts and add a little bit more. Make sure too, if you are using the pre-bagged cheese, do even smaller increments at a time because that comes caked with like a cluttering agent. But I'm using freshly shredded cheese, so everything will be smooth and melty and delicious. This is the consistency you want. You want it to be able to coat the back of the spoon. And once you get that consistency with your melty deliciousness, you want to bring the heat down to about a simmer while we wait for the noodles to finish boiling. At this point, your noodles should be done boiling. You want to drain them, and then you want to go ahead and start mixing everything together. Take your delicious cheese sauce and dump it straight on top of the noodles. And then the next step you want to do is add in your bacon because thick cut all-American bacon makes everything better. because it's delicious and cheesy and amazing. And then make sure to stir up so everything is all good and together and the flavors mix together perfectly. Make sure no noodle isn't touching cheese. Then grab your favorite Transformers glass, pour beer, and start chugging it. While you're chugging it, think of all your favorite memories of eating chicken tenders and mac and cheese as a kid, and think about all the warm, fuzzy feelings it gives you. Now, speaking of childhood memories, you can't drink this without drinking chocolate milk, so we're going to make adult chocolate milk, and that is with 2 shots of vanilla vodka, 2 shots with Bailey's, 2 shots of Kahlua, and then 3 shots of chocolate milk. And you want to add those to a shaker with ice, and then you want to shake rigorously, and then you want to go to voila, adult chocolate milk. Look at that. It's going to come out so good. Shake, shake, shake. Adult chocolate milk. Boom. Let's get ready to plate up this monstrosity, and then don't forget, follow me on the Instagram for more beautiful pictures like this. Now let's eat. It's come out so crispy and delicious. I'm so glad. I decided to double batter them. See if I can get the... You can hear the crispiness. I'm so excited for this mac and cheese. Oh my god, it's so good. But holy shit, this is Chet mac and cheese is amazing. This is like mac and cheese heaven. This is adult mac and cheese. I should make this every fucking week. What happens if we dip the chicken tender inside the mac and cheese? It is so good. I can't even talk. Like, it's so good. And then the last thing to try is the adult chocolate milk. That's like the best combination ever. Of the chocolate milk, the chicken tenders, and the macaroni and cheese. I actually, like, I can't even sit and describe how good this is. This is something that everybody needs to try. Gee, wasn't that delicious? Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I'm sure some of the videos will be around here somewhere. And don't forget to hit that bell button. Cheers.